As a business owner, the optimal eService platform is a convenient and effective tool to help you meet your obligations to the GRA. However, avoiding these common user errors optimizes your user experience. I'm Tiffany Rodias. Let's talk tax. An employer is obligated to file PAYE returns on a monthly and yearly basis. This return is due on or before the 14th day of each month and on or before the 28th of February yearly. These returns are the required employment details of each employee.
You are now one of my elite employees.
The PAYE returns can be filed manually, but the GRA has made the process of filing easier with electronic submissions through the eService platform. This means no lines, no waiting, and submission can be made from the comfort of your office. However, you must have an eService account to file your PAYE returns online. Registration is easy. Simply visit eservices.gra.gov.gy. Next, click Register. Fill out the requested fields. Ensure you use your company or individual TIN. In the case of a company, a representative's name from the company will be required. Create a strong password, and finally, check your email for the link to activate your account. Ensure you have an active email account.
Nice.
When the setup process is completed, you can proceed to file your PAYE returns electronically. The first mistake to avoid when filing your PAYE electronically is the name given to the file. When you export the file, it will be in a CSV format. If you are using the PAYE return applicable to 2022, you must convert the file to CSV format. Give it an appropriate name and avoid using emojis, dashes, space, and other punctuations, since using these symbols will cause errors in the filing process. A common naming style for the file would be what it is, such as the business's name, or the month and the year. For example, if you're filing your yearly PAYE return, you can name the file PAYE Business Name 2025. Similarly, when filing the monthly PAYE return, you can name the file PAYE The Month 2025. It is important to avoid any form of punctuation when saving the file.
Subject to Section 7A of the Customs Act, Chapter 8201, an environmental levy of $10 shall apply on every metal, plastic, or glass container of alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage or water. Importers, local manufacturers, and producers of such products must pay the levy upon importation, warehousing, or removal of the product from the warehouse, factory, bond, or any other place of storage. Payment of the levy shall be made by the manufacturer or producer no later than 15 days after the end of the month during which the goods were sold or removed. A person who fails to pay the levy commits an offense and is liable to a fine of $50,000 together with a sum twice the amount of the levy payable. Officers from the GRA's Environmental Levy Unit will be conducting scheduled field visits to sensitize and enforce compliance with the laws. For more information, contact the GRA's Environmental Levy Unit on 227-6060, extension 2501 or 2503.
Welcome back to Talk Tax. We're talking about errors to avoid when filing your PAYE returns electronically. Another error to avoid when filing your PAYE return electronically is inserting additional columns. The PAYE return template already has all the necessary columns that are required. If you are unsure that your employee details are not being truly reflected, contact the eService support team for guidance on the way forward. Another error to avoid when completing your PAYE return is the format in which you enter the information. For instance, when inputting numbers, do not use the $sign or commas. When it comes to inputting the date, the accepted format for the PAYE return is year, month, day. Another consideration to bear in mind when entering your employee details is the TIN. Your employee's TIN is a 9-digit number. Ensure that you enter the correct information when completing your PAYE return. Finally, another common error to avoid is not validating your PAYE return before submitting it. You must validate your file before you submit it electronically. You must fix any errors identified in the validation process before uploading the PAYE return. You can find guidance for completing and submitting your PAYE returns on the GRA's website, gra.gov.gy. You can also speak to an eService support member by calling 225-5061 extension 6501. Don't forget, you can keep up with all the latest tax news and policies by liking and following the Ghana Revenue Authority on its socials and YouTube. We'll talk tax next time.